Now, for more on this, we're joined live on this broadcast by Amitabh Kant, who's a former CEO of Niti Aayog. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Kant.
Thanks. My pleasure.
So let me begin by asking, how do you assess the government's approach to balancing the fiscal prudence with the growth priorities? What is your take on that?
So I would, really compliment the finance minister in this budget because she's really pushed the demand factor, which is very critical for India's growth story at this point of time. And when consumption grows, then demand grows, then production grows, then growth happens, then jobs are created. It's a cycle. And by providing this 1 lakh crore and no tax till this limit, she's really put a lot of money in the hands of the middle class, and therefore consumer demand will go up. And with consumer demand going up, it should lead to a greater amount of growth in the Indian economy. And she's done this in a fiscally prudent manner because the fiscal deficit this year was about 4.8, and she's hoping for a 4.4% next year, which shows that she's been a very responsible and a very prudent finance minister.
Right. As you've said, it has brought a much-needed respite for the middle class. But at the same time, I want to ask, what message does the budget send to foreign investors?
Well, one is that it's pushing for growth, which is the message which should go, because right now, globally, production supply chains are broken. There's a huge aspect of tariff wars going on, and there's a challenge on many fronts. And at this point, India, which is a fast-growing economy, has come out with a budget which is fiscally very responsible, which is pushing for further growth, which is pushing for job creation in a range of areas like tourism, toys, footwear, leather, which is also pushing for cutting-edge technology, nuclear energy, which is pushing for small modular reactor, which is pushing for AI, but which is also emphasizing its startup movement in a very big way and pushing for deep tech. So and innovation. So it sends out the right message to my mind. Also, by opening up the insurance sector to 100% FDI, it is sending out a message that it welcomes foreign investment in India.
Right. And that leads me to my last question, Mr. Kant. Do you think that the budget allocation is enough to accelerate India's green transition?
India's strategy for going green has been largely private sector driven. But what the government has done is to build the right policy, get the right technologies, and enable through policy and structuring a lot of venture capital and PE funds to come into India, and long-term lending has come into the green sector. And I think that should be the strategy. It should be the private sector-driven story for a long, long time if you have to go green. And if now we are a major importer of solar components, of batteries, of storage items, and of electric vehicles. And in all this, the new clean tech mission should really help us drive Atmanirbharta and make it India in a very big way.
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Kant, and sharing your perspective.
Thank you. Thanks.